I do. All right. All right. About 10 seconds. Let's hope we go live here. Hope it pops right on. Sometimes we have technical difficulties, so you guys just bear with us. All right. Here we go. All right. Just a little technical difficulties as I anticipated. So let me just try a couple more buttons to get right on. You know how this goes, Mr. Scribe. You know what I'm doing over here. To hit us on live. Here we go. Let's see if this works.
Absolutely, absolutely. Happened to me.
And welcome to Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome, 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 everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, Mix 106 radio listeners, if you guys want to watch this show in its entirety, you guys can head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on Facebook and now on YouTube. Now, hey, what we're going to do this time, just to make sure that everybody is having the opportunity to watch us on YouTube as well. If you're on Facebook, we're going to post in the link directly to this live feed so you guys can head on over and check us out on YouTube. This is what we like to do, though. Because we're on YouTube, I've heard that there are some people that are just not Facebookers. Is that a word? Now, y'all know I got that from April Leland. I got that from the dictionary of April Leland. But yes, there's some people that are just, they don't want to do Facebook. Am I right, Mr. Scribe? I mean, they just don't want to do the Facebook thing. So they rather do YouTube. So one more thing I want you guys to do. My Level Up Nation on Facebook. Share out and beyond Facebook. Email our link to your family and friends that we are on YouTube Live. All right, well, let me bring in my co-host, Mr. Scribe. How you doing?
I am not on the couch, but I am at home, but I'm not laying on the couch. I'm sitting in my little homemade studio remotely being COVID compliant.
COVID compliant. Yes, absolutely, you guys. We're going to continue to be COVID compliant because I guess I've heard from the grapevine, Mr. Scribe, we're kind of going up in numbers. Not in our state yet, but I've heard in other states the numbers are going up. So we want to make sure that we continue to be COVID compliant. Now, look, Mr. Scribe.
This is the new norm. This is the new norm.
I know, man.
And we can have guests from anywhere and everywhere.
Yep.
That's the other blessing that we found, because the two guests that we have on today, who knows if they would be able to make it into the studio today.
Right.
But the fact that they could be in the comfort on their couches.
Not sure they're on their couches, but you know what
No, they're not. They're not.
Well, what I was afraid of, you may not have the cooties, but I think, we didn't want to sit in the same room as Robin, right? So, just to make sure that you and I are good, Mr. Scribe, we want to make sure. We want to make sure.
I haven't heard that word since I was in like the 5th or 6th grade. And we're not even gonna say how many years ago that was when the little kids ran around. If they said you had the cooties, nobody would talk to you. Nobody would eat with you at lunchtime. And if you were sitting at the desk in the classroom, everybody would be socially distancing way back.
Go ahead, Rob.
That's all right. I have no problem. Come on with it. I'll let y'all get it all out. Because once we get going, New York over here.
But I didn't say nothing. I didn't say that was that's
Go on, keep going. I want y'all to keep going because once I get started, it's New Yorkers. But we're gonna be on our best behavior because we have Gwendolyn and Floyd here, so we're not gonna cut up too bad. Okay, we gotta get them acclimated to the shenanigans that you two, go. You see how they pick on me, Floyd? Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this, Floyd?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Thank you. Okay, but that's all right because I know Gwen, you have my back. I know y'all have my back. See, these my peoples right here.
Gwen is like, oh my goodness, what did I get myself into? These people
just a little.
Look, let me just say this. If you guys are not watching on Facebook or YouTube, you guys are missing half the show. Listen, one more time, you guys, Mix 106 radio listeners, if you guys want to watch this show in its entirety, you guys can head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on Facebook. We want to actually just have our guests, Minister Floyd Bryant and Gwendolyn Bryant, who is in the studio by way of Blue Jeans. Yes, you guys, by way of Blue Jeans. If you guys are listening, their voices is coming from their homes, okay? We just want to make sure that everybody understand that we are being COVID compliant. The topic of the day is answering parents' Mayday call to COVID. So, Mr. Floyd and Mr. Gwendolyn, if you guys can unmute your mics and just do an official hello to our Facebook watchers, our YouTube watchers, and our listeners on Mix 106.
Hello, Facebook. Hello. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're so excited to be here with you guys, and we're looking forward to having a great show.
Awesome. Well, with that said, you guys, of course, we are going to take our break, but before we do, we must set the tone. Take it away, Mr. Scribe.
Yes, our scripture today comes from Hebrews, the 13th chapter and the 16th verse, and it reads, "And do not forget to do good and share with others, for with such sacrifices, God is pleased."
Heavenly Father, we thank you for another opportunity to grace this platform. We thank you for being so faithful. Lord God, you have ordained this time before the foundation of the world, and we say thank you. We say thank you for allowing our audience to be broadened, because we know that increase comes from you. And Lord, we ask that you would anoint us afresh today, that those words that would come out of our mouths, Lord God, that we would speak on your behalf, that we would encourage, that we would educate, Lord, and that we would give someone hope today. We just ask that you continue to bless our homes, bless our listeners and those who are watching. And we just thank you once again. And we invite your presence on the platform today, for you are good all the time, and we love you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, you guys, of course, this will give you an opportunity to head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on Facebook and now on YouTube. Now, I understand that most of you guys probably did not have the opportunity for months on end when we were saying, head on over to Facebook. Now you have an opportunity to watch this show on YouTube. Listen, we have a great show, you guys. We say it all the time. Most of our shows are amazing. And I have to say that this one I'm really, really excited for. It's not only going to be, just having a little fun, but also it's going to be educational. It's going to be, uplifting, bringing you hope during this time of pandemic. Once again, the topic of our discussion is answering parents' Mayday call to COVID. And who we have in the studio, ladies and gentlemen, we have Minister Floyd Bryant and Gwendolyn Bryant. So when we come back on the other side of this break, this will give you guys an opportunity to head on over once again to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on Facebook. The Real Level Up, same name, on YouTube. Also, just want to let you guys know we will be posting in all of our information from Mr. Floyd and Miss Gwendolyn. All that information will be posted on our Facebook page, and we will be getting that information over to our YouTube page soon after the show. But during our live broadcast, we will be posting all of the information that we'll be sharing about Minister Floyd Bryant and Gwendolyn Bryant in our live feed on Facebook. So our YouTube watchers, please just give us some time to get that information over to our YouTube page after the live broadcast. All right, let's go head on over to break, you guys. You're listening and watching Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. We'll be right back.
Poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Hey.
A woman's not what she wear, but what she know. I know in the end where I'ma go. I dress top notch with my praise don't stop. My lip gloss pop, but I love it a lot. Takes me as I am. I'm living on purpose. No apology for me. I'm wearing this crown, dressed in my holy gown. I am a queen, heir to the golden throne. Beautiful face, see me the way God sees me. Beautiful heart, I can love the way God loves me. Beautiful soul, looking into the eyes of the window.
Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Hey.
A woman's not what she wear, but what she know. I know in the end where I'ma go. I dress top notch with my praise don't stop. My lip gloss pop, but I love it a lot. I got on platform and leg warmers, my skirt fitted and my makeup hitting. But I preach on platforms, my heart warm. Clergy collar fitted, my praise be hitting. Unique and different, break tradition. Pull up in the wood grain finish. He will finish the good work he started from the beginning. And my stilettos on premise, rap like I'm giving. My gift should be given just as easy in these Yeezys. Outreach reaching out to the streets when it's cold and breezy. Bring my friends like my name is Phoebe. I got kneecap bands and Timberlands. Get your man's evangelist, could use a hand to evangelize. I realize my name should be Evangeline, cause I sympathize with others' needs where there is no sympathy. Although I love the finer things.
Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Her lip gloss poppin' and she love the Lord. Hey.
A woman's not what she wear, but what she know. I know in the end where I'ma go. I dress top notch with my praise don't stop. My lip gloss pop, but I love it a lot.
Church fan music.
That's B-G-O-G.
What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. All I'm asking is for the respect when you get home. Hey, baby, when you come home, darling. The one from A to Z.
Unveiled Treasures Bookstore. We offer a variety of items: church supplies, homeschool resources, music, books, and gifts. Our free ministry partners online affiliate program provides a collection of Christian resources. Unveiled Treasures. Exquisite jewels to enrich your soul.
Hey, this is Nolan Holloway, aka Mr. Scribe. Just letting you know that I have 3 books of poetry that's available on Amazon.com. So when you get a chance, go to Amazon.com, look up Nolan P. Holloway Jr., not Mr. Scribe, and pick up one of my books for your enjoyment. Peace.
Nothing excites me more than to see children read the books that I illustrated and helped bring to life. You know, it's the process from start to finish, and you know, at the finish line you see the children smiling and excited and sharing the stories with other children about, you know, an image or a book that they read. Another thing that gives me joy is working with new and upcoming writers, people who have all these stories that they want to tell and, you know, things that they want to share with the world, you know, just like, you know, me wanting to express myself as an artist and, you know, share my expressions. You know, people are doing the same thing with their stories, and to help, I feel like I'm helping making their dream come true.
Hey, this is Ash Cash, the financial motivator, and I need you to level up.
You are listening to Level Up with Bob Barrett-Wall from Enter the Diamond.
It's your boy Keegan. Let's level up.
It's your boy, Mark Buddington, a.k.a. Money Mark. Let's level up on Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. with Mix106Radio.com. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Mix 106 Radio. You are now in the mix.
And welcome back to Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, Mix 106 Radio listeners, if you guys want to watch this show in its entirety, you guys can head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on Facebook and on YouTube. I got to remember to say that, don't I, Mr. Scribe? Yes, this is our 3rd show, maybe our 4th show. I'm sorry. It could be our 4th show that we have been. It is number 4. Okay, Mr. Scribe, I got you now. I got you. This is our 4th show, actually simultaneously broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook, and yes, of course, Mix106Radio.com. Listen, you guys, the new age, hey, as Mr. Scribe said, COVID has leveled us up. So we have had to find different ways to broadcast just to make sure that more and more audiences is coming our way to see what we're talking about. Listen, we have a great show today. We have on our platform, we have Gwendolyn and Floyd Bryant. And the topic of our discussion, let me bring that up real quick. I'm sure you probably already have it, Miss Bright, because I just put
boy,
it.
I
Oh, well, you know, I
help is so hard to find. I don't
Here it is. I got it. I had to find my notes. It is answering parents' Mayday call to COVID. Answering parents' Mayday call to COVID. Okay, so I know this topic has gotten a lot of attention because we are in the middle of a pandemic that no one in this century has ever heard. So before I get into that discussion, Mr. Scribe, I really want to go ahead. I know this is early, but I want to give a shout out to folks who are already on the platform. I think, Robin, what has happened, people saw that flyer and they're like, uh-oh, they're going to talk about COVID. Wait a minute. Let me make sure.
Yeah, and they was, listen, because you see the topic, right? Parents, Mayday. Help! Okay, so they're like, I need all the help I can get.
Right.
I knew that was going to get some attention.
Okay,
so they are tuning in early. Gwen and Floyd, because they want to know what y'all got to say, because Lord knows we need some help with these kids.
Well, with that said, you guys, the first person that popped on, Mr. Scribe, it was Winifred Smiley. I wonder who that is.
We already know who that is. That's your mama.
Yes, thank you, Mom, for tuning right on in. Look, when she saw parents on there, she was like, now let me see what my daughter is got to say about this parenting thing here. Also, we've already given her a shout out. Hey, Miss Minister April Leland, that's my girl. Yes, give her a shout out.
Spiritual soldier.
Look, yeah, spiritual soldier. And
spiritual
what else?
Soldier.
What else do y'all like to brag about with her?
She's from up top, New York.
Here we go.
She's from the Bronx. That's my sister. That's my Bronxy sister right there.
All three of us from the Bronx.
I see that. Anyway, I just want to say hello to Norleen Ford, Mary. I hope I don't say it wrong. Hi, Mary. Your last name is Cudio. I'm sorry. I might have been messing that up. Please forgive me. Our top fan is on, you guys. Always. Hi, Miss Doris. Hi, Miss Doris. How are you? Grace Hindy, just want to give you a shout out. Y'all know who Grace is. Hey, without Grace, y'all won't hear a darn thing on this show. Okay? Also,
Cecile Landry's on.
Oh, hey, Cecile. How are you? Also, Mary Gooseby has tuned in. Huh?
One of our top fans.
Oh,
she's one of our top fans.
Yes, she is. And Keith Lambert and Cameron Wilson. Now, I know there's a whole ton of other people. I'm going to give you guys a shout out the next time because I want to get right to our esteemed guests in the studio. Once again, you guys, in case you missed our first our first segment of the show, our introduction segment of the show, who we have in the studio is Gwendolyn and Floyd Bryant. Now, Gwendolyn, if you can unmute your mic first, we're going to introduce our viewing and listening audience to you first. And Miss Robin Bright, you're going to introduce everybody to Miss Gwen.
Oh, you remembered me, huh? I thought you had forgotten about me. I was feeling a little dejected over here, but that's all right. Because Gwendolyn and Floyd, they're going to pray for me. Thank you. You know, I missed you guys. We weren't on last week. I missed you guys. Hey, Gwen, thank you so much for coming on. We're going to start with you first because Floyd said ladies should go first because he is a gentleman. So I'm just going to read this. Yes, he is. Listen, y'all, she had to get on me before we got on because I was going in on her hubby and she's like, hold it now, wait a second. But we just love to have fun. She's part of the family. So for those of you who are listening, I'm going to read a portion of Gwendolyn's bio so that you can get to love her like we have here on the Level Up family. Reverend Gwendolyn Bryant is a South Carolina native and a graduate of South Carolina State University in Orangeburg. Woo-hoo! That's it. Woo-hoo! South Carolina, where she received her special education degree. She holds her master's degree in early childhood education from Thomas University in Thomasville, Georgia. She has also attended the Interdenominational Theological Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Gwendolyn is a woman who pursues God with her whole heart. Reverend Bryant answered the call into ministry in the fall of 2000 and was ordained by St. Matthew's Baptist Association in 2005. Her personal mission statement is to promote truth, lead, and inspire God's people for the glory of God's kingdom. This mission is a part of her daily life. She spends a great deal of time helping and inspiring others to lead successful lives. She is currently a professional special education teacher who has helped many parents and students obtain their dreams of social and academic success. Gwendolyn walks out her mission in her professional life by holding an interrelated resource teaching position with Fulton County Public Schools, where she oversees the development and implementation. Thank you. I'm speaking in tongues over here, Gwen. I couldn't get it out. Individual students and staff. You know us saints, when we get excited, we start because I'm so excited by what it is that you do in your heart, just to help those who may be forgotten about. So just I'm gonna ask you to share a little bit, and you already know Angee. We just say that she's inquisitive, Gwen, but she's gonna start digging.
Well, that will be fine. And as I said earlier, I'm just so excited to be here. We are so excited about sharing our story and sharing where we're from and what we have to offer.
Hey, Gwen, just want to chime in a little bit. God is so good. My sister is a retired teacher of 33 years from New York, special education.
What? She must be awesome.
She is awesome, and she's carrying on even after she's retired. She lives in Hall County, and she's tutoring neighborhood kids.
Wonderful, awesome. Well, It's a passion, it's a calling. It's how I see it. So I could see why she's continuing in that good work.
Well, hey, Gwen. Hey.
Hey.
I guess they warned you about me. Look.
I heard. You're okay.
I'll be gentle,
be
Gwen.
Right. I got Jesus.
I will be gentle. Now, literally, as I was listening to your bio, because what I love to do, Gwen, I know I get the bios early, but I love to listen, firsthand as the audience is listening. And the reason why I do that, Gwen, because, although we're going to get some questions and comments from our from our viewing audience on Facebook, I like to listen with them because I like to be the one that, they have some questions like, look, okay, great bio, but okay, Gwen, sounds like you had an amazing upbringing, because someone who has a heart like that, mom, dad, grandma, uncle, something happened. And I'd love to go all the way back to when you were 10 years old. You're probably in the 4th and 5th grade. Something happened. Something like there was a friend that you saw on the playground maybe, and was like, look, that person's going to be a friend of life. Maybe they were kind of, isolated a little bit, but your little heart was like, let me go and grab that person right there. Am I saying a little bit about your background? Come on, Gwen, tell us.
Well, I tell you, for me, it was opposite. I was an introvert, and cousin, her name is Anita Wise, and she just, oh my gosh, just took me in and was like, come on, girl. The long story to this is I grew up in a little small town, North South Carolina. Woodford's even smaller, and maybe 500, 600 people. And my family, we went to what we call the country, but we didn't really stay there. And so we moved there when I was younger, maybe 4th or 5th grade, got there, and I was having a really hard time adjusting.
Were you, Gwen? Seriously?
Oh my gosh. And it's like, I go to church with these folks all the time. What is the problem? But it's a whole different world. Yeah. And so my cousin was like, look, come on, girl. You got this. I got your back. You good. Come on, let's get it. And for me, my passion for special education comes from that experience. Wow. I was a student. I have a learning disability. I'm dyslexic.
Okay, gotcha.
But at the time, they weren't sure what it was. They just called it a processing deficit. They didn't know how to teach me.
Gotcha.
But my life was changed and transformed by, everybody has that one teacher, right?
Oh, that one teacher.
That one teacher for me was Kathy Gaston, and she just kind of pulled me in and she said, "You're too intelligent for this.
Come on.
You have too much in you for this. Now you have to put forth the work." And so all along, I was sharing with my husband, I had those teachers, and I don't start to name them all, but in North, that little small town, we had teachers that said, you know, your mediocrity is not going to be it.
Ooh, come on.
I don't care what your disability is. I don't care what your problem is. You need to figure it out. I'm going to help you figure it out, but you're going to do the work. And that changed my life.
Gwen, I'm gonna stop you right there because you know there's a ton of teachers that listen to this show, right? And let me just kind of interject with this one. You know what's going on today. The teachers are tired, Gwen, and I know you see that. I know you do. But you know the one thing that keeps, and that's anybody in the education. We had plenty of people on this show that were administrators, coaches, teachers. Gosh, am I forgetting something? Look, I'm waiting on Miss Bright for the lunch ladies and the custodians. Because let me just say, I want them on because
that's right.
It is a village that's raising these kids, and I just want to say this. And I know I'm probably jumping around, but you hit something with me, Gwen.
Okay.
You know, it takes a village to raise a child. And I think more than ever, our parents realize what goes on in a school with your child. Because they had to sit with their child for 7, maybe 8 months, trying to figure out how to teach, you know, a regular ed child. Oh, my goodness.
That's right.
I cannot imagine the parents with the special needs kids.
Yes. Very challenging. A lot of parents are struggling with, because those same special needs students have some type of underlying condition more often than not. Either they have allergies, they have asthma, they have other illnesses that go along with their disability. So they're struggling. Do I send my child? Do I continue to keep my child at home? You know, do I stop work to take care of my child because I can't stay on all day with them? That's not good for their stability, especially kids that have ADHD, which is attention deficit disorder with hyperactivity, and staring at a screen actually increases their anxiety, and it increases their hyperactivity from staring at a screen. It's just like watching too many video games.
Wow.
Even though it's just instruction, it's still looking at a screen. It's just like watching too much television.
Got you.
And their eyes and their body they have to take a break. And so parents are struggling with that. And so that's why Floyd and I partner with schools to remind folks that it is okay. One, give yourself grace. It's okay that everything is not getting done. And when I'm working with parents, that's the first thing I tell them. This is a journey. We're in it together. Give yourself grace. If it doesn't all get done, we're going to grade what we get. Because we don't want our children to be in a position where they're anxious. They're already concerned about COVID.
Right.
They're already concerned about their parents. And even as parents, we try to do a good job of protecting our kids and keeping them out of harm's way, so to speak. They don't need to know all of the struggles that are happening, but children are very observant.
Very.
And they're getting more observant at younger ages, right? So it used to be like the middle school and high school, you have to worry about that.
Yes.
But now our children, 4, 5, 6 years old, they know, Mommy, is everything okay? Daddy, is everything okay?
Wow.
Or, are we going to the store today? Or, they get concerned. And so one of the things, like I said, I always start with parents is give yourself grace. That you have to take time to make sure that your whole spirit is good, and then you can help your kids.
The mental component of it, Gwen, with regards to parents. Now, what are some of the pointers that you give parents? Because, like you said, there's so many dynamics that they have to juggle. You know, the job, the kids, the husband, and just what tips do you give the parents to say, this is how you stay in a healthy mental posture? Because right now, as you well know, things are quite stressful for a lot of people.
So we start off with making sure that they have a schedule. And even in that schedule, you're going to schedule time for you to take a break as a parent. You're going to schedule time, whether it's partnering. This is where that village comes into play, like Angee was talking about. You're going to have to schedule time that you can, even if it's 5 minutes, your peace in the shower, get your aromatherapy going, give yourself a few minutes to just decompress and get yourself together and stay well in your mind. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to create a schedule for yourself. You're going to create a schedule for your family. Even while we were at home, we had a schedule. Floyd and I both were working from home and teaching our son. And so everything had to happen on the schedule. We got up, we got dressed, we made breakfast. Then you're off to your space, I'm off to my space, Samuel's off to his space, and we're starting our day. And then we're going to stop. So you have to create a schedule. Floyd and I were just having a conversation about this. I think I worked more when I was working in the house than I did, than I am now that I'm back in the school building. So creating balance and boundaries, that's going to be number one and key, most important.
Yeah, that's excellent advice, because things had been so topsy-turvy when, you know, this pandemic hit. We've never experienced anything like that in our lifetime. So now, Floyd, we want to bring you in. You were smiling when your wifey was saying we created a schedule. Now somebody is not one on schedule all the time. Is that you by any chance? I'm just guessing, because you was just smiling away.
Well, actually, I was smiling because I'm just proud, and of my wife in general. And as far as schedule, I've always believed in creating a schedule. Matter of fact, my wife reiterated that once when she said that Habakkuk 2 says, get the vision, make it plain, just write it down. From that point on, it was imperative that we kept a schedule in every capacity, regardless of what we did or what we would have others to do. That schedule was important, because you got to understand, if you don't know where you're going, if you don't have a plan of action, and that's in any capacity.
That is awesome. Well, hey, listen, you guys. All right. Look, this is segment number 1. Guess what? Segment number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look, we have them for another 2.5 hours from this point forward, you guys. Let me just say this. If you are listening on Mix106radio.com, you guys can head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on Facebook and now on YouTube. There, you guys can like our page and subscribe to our page on YouTube. There, you guys can share this information with your family and friends on Facebook and now on YouTube. Hey, listen, you guys, we're having a great conversation with Floyd and Gwendolyn Bryant. When we come back on the other side of the break, we will continue our conversation, and the topic of the day is answering parents' Mayday call to COVID. Hey, if you guys want to get some tips and some advice, here's the show for you. You're listening and watching Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. We'll be right back.
the trials come. He never said they wouldn't fall, but you know that he said they cannot stand. They can't stand because you were called and chosen to be the chain that someone needs to pick them up, give them strength, but you gotta be patient. You gotta be, yes, patient, patient. The road gets dark, the nights get dreary, yeah, night get dreary. See, the enemy, he comes to steal, to kill, and destroy. But my Father said he'd come to give you life and peace and so much joy. I know that the road seems hard. See, I've been there myself a time or two, but I promise it will pass. Just let patience do what it do. Be patient with yourself. All the pressures of life comes to make you strong. The one thing that pressure does is it creates a diamond that once was rough. All your trials are just a test to shape and mold you for your testimony. You gotta go and walk it out. Wave no white flags, don't give up, but you gotta be patient. Gotta be patient, yes. Be patient, be patient. Don't worry, be happy, yes. Have patience now. You're not perfect. Eyes haven't seen, nor have ears. They haven't heard all the things that my God has prepared. The things that God has prepared for you. Just be patient. Don't worry, be patient. Don't worry about nothing. Just pray on it all. Don't give up on God. He won't don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Always be done. He won't let you fall. He won't let you down. You're not perfect. Don't you worry. Pray on it all. Don't you give up. Don't give up. You can't give up. No. It's hard. It is dreary. I know. You're not perfect. No.
More than 12 million Africans were enslaved and trafficked. More than 2 million of our ancestors died at sea. The ocean holds stories that haven't been told.
This is ground zero for the whole transatlantic slave trade.
The story of the slave trade is world history.
It's not something unique to America. It was a worldwide phenomenon.
Looking cool. All right, Sonia. All right. Well, look, we're glad to be here. So, hey, look, tell us a little bit about the business.
So Extraction was open about a year ago now, May 25th. We celebrated a year. It's smoothies, acai bowls, vegan food.
Awesome.
We have Guyanese vegan food, actually. Extraction, we're a little different than most smoothie bars. We use exotic fruit.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much,
Pleasure.
Looking forward to it. Gabby, you going to get yours?
There you go.
All right. So we're going to enjoy. Sonia, thank you so much for allowing us to come by. And definitely we'll be coming by with friends. And I'm going to share this all over social media, okay?
Perfect. Thank
all
you
right.
so much.
Got to visit Extractions.
Thank you so much. Have a great day now.
All right.
Bye.
Hello, my name is Rodney Damon Collins. I'm an actor, producer, author, and speaker. I'm excited to share my first book entitled Shattered: A Journey Through the Pieces. I wrote this book because there are millions of people like me in this world who are searching for purpose while navigating emotional distress. This book is for anyone who wants to be the producer of their own life. The reader will be encouraged to know that if they, 1, keep God first, 2, learn how to make peace with the pieces in our lives, and finally, 3, never deterred from your dreams, that you will see your purpose fulfilled. I love you, and go grab this book on Amazon.com, Shattered: A Journey Through the Pieces.
Hey, this is Constance. Level up.
It's your girl, Dr. Monique Frazier, owner of Prestige Decor and More.
You are listening to Level Up with Sisters of the Skies Incorporated.
It's your girl, Chantel Charisma. Let's level up.
Hey, this is Gina A. Towns on Real Talk that takes you higher. Level Up. Sundays 3 to 6 p.m. on Mix 106 Radio. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Mix 106 Radio. You are now in the mix.
And welcome back to Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, Mix 106 Radio listeners, if you guys want to watch this show in its entirety, you guys can head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on Facebook and now on YouTube. Yes, you guys can also head on over to YouTube as well. Now, one thing I want you guys to make sure you do, if you go over to YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you head on over to Facebook, hit the like button. That's the way you guys can find out each and every Sunday that we go live. All right, with all that said, we have a couple more people that I would love to give shout outs to. Listen, I don't know if you're listening and paying attention unless you say, hey, how are you? What's going on? Level Up family. That's the only way we know you guys are tuning in. So just want to give a shout out to Mr. Torrance Scott. I wonder who that is, Mr. Scribe.
Mr. T. Yes, that's Angie's hubby, for those of you who don't know. He is a very integral part in helping me keep my job. So thank you, Mr. T. I appreciate your influence.
Oh, here she goes. What, the brown noser of the year, Mr. Scribe. Okay.
I'm not ashamed. I just still got a job.
Everybody's helping you keep your job, Robin.
All right.
Everybody got to help Robin keep her job.
Oh, my God.
Pastor Floyd, Pastor Gwen got to help Robin keep her job.
Keep her job.
Listen, you have not because you asked not. And I'm asking and I'm putting it out in the atmosphere, okay? I understand the power. Life and death is in the tongue. I want to keep my job.
You know what?
Right. But here's the key. Though, after all of that. You're absolutely right. But nobody wants your job.
Don't nobody want her job. Don't nobody want her job. Anyhow, well, no, you know what, Mr. Scribe, I had two people that put in the application. So yeah, she's jobs on the line right now. Yes. Yeah.
We'll keep the pressure on Angee.
Okay.
As long as there's applications in the mix, that'll keep her on point.
Anyhow, listen, I still want to give some shout outs before we get back into our conversation. Mr. Muhammad Konath, thank you for joining us. Mr. Robert Smith, Cecile Landry, Tammy Sorrells, Charlotte Hollinshed, Jeffrey Welch, and Alita King. And DC has said, I am so interested in this topic. Oh boy. So look here.
That's big couple. That's big couple. He's the owner of the station, so we're gonna give him all the education he can get, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you also to Katina Banks, Sherry Geralds, and Joseph Ross. So no more you guys are tuning in. Listen, I just want to say one more thing to you as well. This is what I love about our show. What I love about our show, that we give independent artists an opportunity to broadcast their projects. So if you know of any other people, now let me just say this: we don't play everybody's music now. Okay, Christ-centered.
No, we're not dropping it like it hot. We're not shaking it and baking it. The music, if you're listening to it, it is glorifying our King Jesus Christ. It is edifying.
Come on now.
It is talking about the kingdom of God, because people need to be strengthened in this hour. So if you're not in that vein, we love you, we appreciate you, but we're in our lane for the kingdom. So no dropping it and shaking it and popping it and all that. Gotta glorify God.
Well, I just want to give shout outs to the two artists that we featured already. That is Promised Land and Miss Joanne Hell McGill. Look, these two artists are on the rise. I want you guys to go out and check them out on your social media platforms. I mean, they have been a support of this show from day one, and we want to give that support right back. So check out, we have a couple more artists that we will be featuring. I think another 5, Mr. Scribe, correct? Another 5 artists. Yep, 5 new artists that you probably have not heard on your, what do you call it, terrestrial radio stations. So yes, so that's what I love about having our radio show. We have the freedom of playing our independent artists. Independent artists, I know you're out there. Keep them coming, keep them clean. So that's that's how we do it on Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. All right, now getting right back into our conversation, you guys. We have in the studio, in case you guys have missed, we have Reverend Floyd Bryant and Gwendolyn Bryant in the studio. And our topic of discussion, you guys, look, let me tell you the reason why DC is so interested in this conversation. Parents, answering parents, Mayday call to COVID. Now, I know there's a plenty of you guys that are just, probably tearing your hair out, trying to figure out what to do, how to do it. But this is the show for you. So let's get right back into our conversation. Robin, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, well, I want to pull in Floyd. I knew Gwen was sharing. I want to say thank you so much, Gwen, for your transparency with regards to, you having a disability with regards to dyslexia. And for those teachers, those educators who didn't, cast you aside because you were different, they actually saw the difference in you, but you said a key word, they saw the intelligence. And I think a lot of times when children or people don't meet the standards of what we're accustomed to, we have a tendency to shoving them aside. And I say, those are hidden gems. Those are hidden jewels, because I didn't even read your entire bio, but I will get back to it with regards to the educational component that you have. You moved on and up the line in terms of getting your master's. You're on several boards, which we will speak about a little later. But, I want to say that to those who may have children who may be struggling with certain disabilities, look for that avenue where their strengths are and help them build on that, just to encourage them and to edify them as well. Now, Floyd, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you because you're an educator as well. But what I wanted to ask you was, now this is personal. I'm being selfish. Now, how did y'all get together? Because y'all make a dynamic team. I want to know.
Are you trying to get some pointers? Is that what you're trying to do? Are you taking notes?
I'm very happy being single. I love to see couples who are dynamic in their marriage, because we haven't even gotten into the meat of what their organization does. So how was you able to scoop Gwen up? I'm curious.
Well, I did a lot of. It was a lot of praying. It was definitely a lot of praying, and that was basically me praying for a woman of God. Matter of fact, it was so ironic that when I first asked her for her phone number, she thought that would just show me a way. The reason being is because when I called the number, her voicemail said, Reverend Gwendolyn Bryant, and this is the Lord is your strength. Something to that extent.
Get it right now. Get it right. She's gonna correct you now, Floyd.
And now, what you doing?
Come on, now, get it right.
I'm gonna need you to get that right.
Y'all don't pick on them. Y'all don't pick on Reverend.
Come on, baby.
She said the Lord was her strength to some extent, and at that time I was a little nervous because I was like, God, you just answered my prayer. Now she thought that because her voicemail described her as a reverend, that was going to run me away.
Come on now.
And I was excited. Because that's what I was looking for.
That's what I'm talking about.
So shortly thereafter, after we had went out a few times, I told her, I said, I had something to tell you. She said, what was that? I think we was at a seafood restaurant up in Alpharetta. I said, I'm going to marry you. You're going to be my wife. She thought
right now, that was a bold move, Floyd. That was a bold move.
Hey,
Floyd.
Hey, look.
Reverend Floyd, I've heard a lot of men that say that. They know it like right off the bat.
We as men, when we know what we want and God shows us what we prayed for in our answer, we don't get deterred. We don't deviate. We don't get derailed. We straight on.
Well, so is that the reason why they say, Reverend Floyd, that we need to get ourselves together? Of course, we never run after you guys. You guys will find us, and if we are right for you, you will find us. Is that correct?
Absolutely. The word says the man shall findeth a wife. He didn't say he want the woman chasing the man. Ooh. He wanted the man to find that wife. And so that's what's really, really important, because we have to just keep it at the basic, because there's so much on the man. The man is basically, he has to have a strong relationship with God.
Yeah.
Because then that wife who follows him, she becomes a reflection of that husband.
That's true.
If that husband doesn't have his relationship intact, especially with a black woman, it's going to be hard for her to be, i.e., submissive or anything of that nature. So you've got to make sure that you got your stuff together with your Heavenly Father.
Floyd,
boy,
you said it all right there. Because brothers out there, if you asking for a godly woman and you get one, you better come correct and you better be ready, because if you're not, she's going to get you.
Absolutely.
I can speak truth to that, for sure.
Absolutely.
So, I had to stir the pot with that there. I couldn't resist, because I was like, I always love to do that with couples, to see if the man remember how it all transpired. So you started a little shaky there, but you got it together. You got it together. That's wonderful. But all joking aside, you touched on some key things, and I'm going to pivot back around to the conversation we were having. Like you said, the scripture says a man who finds a wife finds a good thing and finds favor with the Lord. So it's just dynamic to see how well you both work together, because there's obviously an assignment. You recognize that you needed a godly woman to fulfill the assignment and the vision that God had given you as being the head. So let me just ask you this before we bring Gwen back in. Were you also an educator? Were you also, how did you come about being in the arena? Because we're gonna speak a little bit about what your accomplishments. But speak a little bit about the whole educational component, because I know when I first had an opportunity to meet you, you were so passionate. So I just want our listeners and our watchers just to hear your journey with regards to the educational component and how much you love the children's.
Well, basically, as far as education, my education aspect, I'm not a teacher verbatim as far as the academic aspect of things, but I am a teacher as far as economic empowerment comes into play. I think that is relevant. I am a lender, okay, that I deal with money. And one of the biggest challenges that a lot of people in general have is how to balance their checkbook, how to prepare for certain things. What are some of the challenges that they have? One of my mentee is, he said that I was his mentor, is Michael Vick. And we would talk about, on occasion, some of the mistakes he's made prior to recovering at this point in his life. He said one of the things that he would like to do for athletes and so forth is actually tell them that when they get drafted, that they may have a couple $1 million, if that, for 3 to 5 years average, to last them for the rest of their life, and not spending it like it's a bucket with a hose, with a bucket of water with a hose running through. So I've actually it's been important to me to talk to the kids in general, because I've gotten involved with children, and of course I'm responsible for numerous schools and what have you and whatnot. But I think that if they understand that their decisions create their destinations, that they would understand that it's really important that education is not just reading, writing, and arithmetic, but it's also understanding their economic empowerment for their future, being able to help others that need that guidance and so forth. So, I consider myself, I am a certified life coach in that regard, but the education of academic is one thing. I could talk about that, but my passion is making sure that our people in general don't grow up to be broke, busted, and disgusted.
Now you're an equipper, Floyd. You're definitely an equipper.
He really is. Andy. So before we go any further, Floyd, just so that our viewing, listening audience get to know you a little better, I'm gonna dig too. Now, when just thinking back on when you were growing up, just tell us, part of your childhood, because how did you, develop the passion that you do, which is a very important one. Anybody that has the passion to, strengthen our communities is amazing. People want to, always, put it off on the parents, but I truly believe in this, Reverend Floyd, that it takes a village to raise children. It really does, from the parent to our family in church, to our family and friends that are in schools. So I see that you have your hand in a lot of those communities that brings the whole community together. But did you have that growing up?
Well, actually, I did. My father sort of encouraged me to just lead and try to be a benefit of society, to be the leader. I mean, some of the more elderly guys called me the professor when I was a kid, and the reason being is because, I used to love to read. Well, I still like to read, but I remember when I was growing up, it was really important for a lot of the kids to get go-karts and so forth. That was really popular back then. And my father, who was really a good father, was my role model. He asked me what I wanted, and I told him a set of World Book encyclopedias.
No, you didn't.
So, yes, So I read the book, the World Book, from aardvark to xylophone.
And
I thought that was really important. And my daddy would tell me, he said, look, you got to be twice as better than anyone else.
Wow.
Any of your competition. And he said, matter of fact, even from studying, he said, when you read a book, before you turn to the next page, I want you to do all the research and know everything about that page before you got to the next page. Now, when I was growing up, computers and so forth wasn't as relevant, even though my degree is in computer science.
Wow.
But that was COBOL and all back then. So I did a lot of research. I was in the library a lot where I would cite my research and what I had pulled up.
Wow.
So it wasn't a situation where I had to go to Google to find the answer. I had to know the answer. So that was really important. And my father said, you just have to have, even though you may be smarter, you have to at least have your undergraduate degree, just so that people will say, okay, that lets you in the door. Now, when you get in the door, they need to hear you, because it's important that whatever you do, you can make a mark that can't be erased.
Oh my gosh. And it goes back to what we have said on several shows, Reverend Floyd, that, education cannot be taken away. Once it's in here, it is in there. And I love to tell anyone who may want to challenge me on this, you will forever learn. You're forever learning. So whatever you have built from your early childhood, continue to learn on top of that, because it's always something that you're going to be learning throughout this life. And always have the mindset that you are going to share that with the next generation. Oh, and sometimes it's not even the generation, Reverend Floyd. Sometimes it is sharing with the person that's sitting right next to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The question is, are you willing to learn? Because some people get to a point, a measure of success or even a plateau in education where they feel like, okay, this was my goal. I've accomplished my goal and I can stop learning. That's not wise.
No,
that's not wise, because it's important to challenge yourself, like you said, Floyd, with regards to expanding your knowledge base, and not only expanding it, but applying it to help someone else down the line, and just not to have this wealth of knowledge just so that you could say, I have it. But what are you doing with what it is that you have learned? Are you enriching and imparting to someone else's life? Which is why I love what your organization is doing. And I think we get ready to go to a break, Angie, that we'll have an opportunity to share with regards to that.
All right. Well, listen, you guys, please head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on Facebook and now on YouTube. You're listening and watching Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. We'll be right back.
Yeah. You already know. Yeah. I might have took a L, but my future's still looking well. They thought that I would fail, but my future's still looking well. You can still look and see no weapon form will prevail. I'ma still see heaven even though I went through hell. Elementary show and tell, look at what God did. Was a struggle, now I'm taking off like a rocket. Ain't gonna stop it, I know I'm blessed. And they think I'm by myself, but you know the rest. You know the rest, you don't know the stress. Don't know the stress that I've been through. Everything I've been through, cut like a Ginsu. Heartbreak, disappointment, backstabbing friends too. No money, rent's due, sleeping out the car. Embarrassed as a man, still reaching for the stars. I might have took a L, but my future's still looking well. They thought that I would fail, future still looking well. You can still look and see no weapon formed will prevail. I'ma still see heaven even though I went through hell. I might have took a L, but my future's still looking well. The sky was the limit, but I'm reaching for the stars. I don't smoke, don't drink, you won't catch me by the bar, baby. Why you had to go and break my heart, baby? Wound served, peeling back a scar, baby. Maybe I'll understand later. I understand greater days are coming ahead, but I know that I gotta press through to the end. And I know he's the only one that you can depend on. You can depend on, you can depend on. I'ma make a touchdown. I'm in the end zone, I'm in the win zone. Losing's not an option, thought that I would quit, but he pulled me through the process. I never thought I would've made it, I thought my future faded. He pulled me out the worst just to show me who the greatest. I know the pain hurts, lost what I gained first. Knowledge that I'm breaking free, watch out of chambers. Yeah, I might have took a L, but my future's still looking well. Still looking well. They thought that I would fail, but my future's still looking well. You can still look and see no weapon formed will prevail. I'ma still see heaven even though I went through hell. I might have took a L, but my future's still looking well. Still looking well, still looking well. Still looking well, 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 still looking well. You can still look and tell, no weapon will prevail. Still looking well, even through the pain, rain, hurt, sorrow. Took a look at tomorrow and I see it still looking well. I will never quit, I will never quit, no. Enter to the end, enter to the end though. Everything trying to stop, everything trying to block. I gotta knock down the walls like I'm digging for water. It's still looking well. I might have took a L, but my future's still looking well. Still looking well. They thought that I would fail, but my future's still looking well. You can still look and see no weapon formed will prevail. I'ma still see heaven even though I went through hell. I might have took a L, but my future's still looking well. Still looking well, looking well. Still looking well. Still looking well. Still looking well.
Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you tried, things just still go wrong?
Many times.
What do?
I let go and let God.
All I'm asking from you is to bump up our credit limit to where it was.
It's declined.
We're experiencing some financial hardships at the moment.
You have 6 days to make payment.
I can't believe this is happening.
You know, I never asked you to pray with me.
It's you and me. We got this.
God wants to help you, Peter.
Excuse me?
But you're not letting him in.
I did once. Last time we spoke, you took a man away from me I loved dearly. From that day, I swore to take matters into my own hands. But now I don't know what to do.
I know that you don't believe, but I will pray for you.
I love you so much.
Capimo.
It was a miracle. You believe in miracles?
Listen, if you need me, you call me.
All of the angels in heaven are rejoicing. You gotta know that everything is gonna be okay.
Introducing Jewel Premium Sanitary Napkin. Jewel has an innovative design that is made with a strip infused with Nobel Prize-winning material, graphene. The infused graphene strip may provide various health benefits that potentially help relieve painful abdominal cramps, help balance the body's pH, help eliminate harmful bacteria, help with aroma, help fight fatigue, boost metabolism, boost immune system. Graphene moves heat away from your core and contains vibrational energy. In this test, we will add water to the graphene strip and then place a 7-watt light bulb onto the strip to demonstrate the level of energy contained in the Jewel pad. These medical claims have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. All results may vary. Protect the most precious jewel in the world, you. For more information, contact the person who referred you to this video.
It's been long enough that you've been walking around in the wilderness trying to figure out, who am I? Why am I here? What gifts do I have to make a difference? Well, it's time to warm it up. Discover your true identity. Unleash your gifts and impact the world to become a more bolder, braver, and courageous you. Join me, Kathy Hood, at a life-changing workshop, Woman Up, the journey of owning your power and unleashing your true self.
Listen or watch Level Up every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. Keep it locked right here.
Hey guys, it's your girl V Speak Life, reminding you to speak life, not strife.
This is Terrell Murphy. Get inspired with Level Up.
Hi, this is Amos Johnson, pastor of Church for Entrepreneurs. Let's level up.
You're listening to Level Up with Dr. Deb Armstrong.
It's Sonia from Extraction. Time to level up. Every
Takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the Bee. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, Mix 106 radio listeners, if you guys want to watch this show in its entirety, you guys can head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on Facebook and now on YouTube. Just simply type in The Real Level Up in your search engine on YouTube. There, what I would like for you guys to do is hit the subscribe button for YouTube, hit the like button on Facebook, and each and every time that we go live, it sends you a notification. Now, this last break, I understand that we had a blank screen for our viewers on Facebook. Please forgive us. If you guys experienced that, you guys can head on over to YouTube because the videos were showing right there. Okay, just want to make sure that everybody got that that message. All right,
yeah,
so
I posted the link, Angee, so that they could go out to YouTube.
Awesome. So if you guys miss any part of the show, what we always do at the end of our live broadcast, the video will be up and running forever, and forever. So any part of the show that you guys miss, you now can watch it on YouTube as well. All right, let's get back into our conversation. And in the studio, once again, in case you are just now joining us, we have a couple of new people that have just joined us. In the studio, we have Reverend Floyd Bryant and Reverend Gwendolyn Bryant of the Bryant Foundation. And the topic of our discussion is answering parents' Mayday call to COVID. Oh, I know some of you guys are just like, okay, please, can you guys give us some more information about this COVID thing and my children being at home? No. Well, as we've been talking, you guys, it's very, very important to know that it takes a village to raise a child. One thing I wanted to, kind of stress again that you had said, Gwen, earlier, is that, set your schedule, but in that schedule, please include other people that, that surround you that can, get involved and help out. I thought that was, because some people are thinking COVID, I don't want to be around anyone, but find trusted friends, because that's what I've done. Gwen, what I have done, I have found trusted people that are not going out and doing crazy things that may have them exposed to the virus, but at the same time that are keeping their health up and well, so that if they do get the virus, that they will fight it, pretty well. And in fact, I will have to say this: I think a few of my family members had already had it. And if it hadn't been for them, keeping up, their health, especially in diet and exercise, I don't think they would have fought it off as well as they did. And they did a tremendous job. So, I know, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I know that we are in the throes of a pandemic that we've never seen before. Of course, there's been pandemics in the other centuries of this lifetime, but here's ours. And so let's find ways. Let's find solutions. Let's continue to ask and not complain. Can I get a witness? Can I get an amen?
I think, Angie, go ahead, Gwen.
Go ahead, Gwen.
I was going to say that's most important. You touched on making sure you find folks that are around you. And so for Floyd and I, most of my family is in South Carolina. And, we got together with his family. When I say his family, it's my family too. My sisters and my brothers, but his biological brother. And one of the things that everyone said we would do is make sure that we are COVID free. And then we made it an intentional plan to get together where we could be socially distanced. We went horseback riding, so there are things that you can do to give yourself the opportunity to get with your family, but do it in a way that is responsible. And then for that village, we are very fortunate that we have a lot of retirees in our neighborhood.
Nice.
And so for us, we put out Samuel's birthday. That's our youngest son. He of course couldn't have a birthday party. So we put the sign out in the yard, and to our surprise, the mailbox was just filled with little cards from our neighbors who said, "Hey, we just want to celebrate with Samuel."
Oh man!
And it was just very uplifting for him. He was super excited, and so we weren't expecting any of that.
Right.
And so now we find that those same neighbors will sit on their porch and watch him ride his bike.
Are you
in the
serious?
neighborhood. So when I was saying, find a way to get that 5 minutes in, there it is.
There it is.
Even if it's just to go and sit down and take 10 deep breaths just to relax and just let it out. And so that's what I was saying. Get your neighbors involved. This is an opportunity for you to get to meet your neighbors that you may not have talked with in quite a while. And so for us, that's been our getting everybody on board to kind of help and support, pulling and creating your own village.
Wow.
Yeah, and I also think this is the season for that at this particular time, because in the scheme of things, I know you're both pastors, We know the Bible is a book of prophecy, and a lot of things that's going on right now is right in line with what the word talks about. So surrounding ourselves with like-minded people, getting our situations in order, preparing ourselves like the maids with the lampshades, making sure we have enough oil for when a certain time comes, that when we put the oil in our lamps, we can light our lamps and not be like, oh, we ran out of oil. That door is going to shut. Once that door shuts, they're not going to open it. So this is a time of reflection and introspection for not only for ourselves, but for our children, our neighbors, and our Christian brothers and sisters.
Well, one of the things I wanted to piggyback off of, Gwen, that you said that your neighbors did that. So that is an indication that both you and Floyd are very involved, even in your neighborhood, because if that wasn't the case, folks wouldn't have done what they did for Samuel. So can you speak to, you're laughing. So can you speak to that in regards to the importance of our involvement with our community, such as your foundation? I know the Bryant Foundation, which we'll speak to, but, share with us the importance of that, because like you said, pre-COVID, some of us were so busy. How many of us can really name? I'd say 5. Like I'm gonna be like, 5. If we could just name 5 of our neighbors in the neighborhood, because we don't take the time to get to know those who are around us. So could you speak to that, please?
Well, as far as our neighbor, we're really close knit, and as you stated, a few years ago, I was president of our homeowners association. So I was able to get to know everyone, and we would have block gatherings in the street for kids. We'll bring the fire department over and so forth, so they'll meet them, and we made sure that was important, that we created a village mindset.
That's what's up.
So that neighbors would feel like they had some solace and comfort when they came home and came in our neighborhood. So that have continued. So as you stated, because of Samuel's birthday and the information we had in the yard, that happy birthday stuff that my wife put out there, paraphernalia, if you would, the neighbors, was really responsive and wanted to be supported. And I think they're that way in general. I mean, we have some of the best neighbors, and like my wife said, most of them are retired and so forth, but, they're very, very, very great neighbors, and I think we are blessed for that. So in retrospect, we feel like the way we feel, that's a good feeling when they do things and you didn't expect them to do it. You didn't ask them to do it, and they do it voluntarily. So, we want to share that same love throughout our neighborhood and all. And we want to be a part of the solution instead of the problem. That's where our foundation and so forth come in, so that we could truly get out there and make a difference.
Kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier about our upbringing. So I'm, like I said, from a little small town, and literally I had my auntie next to me, my auntie across the field from me, and around the corner was another cousin, and you could decide if I didn't want what my mama had for dinner, I could go over to my auntie's house and eat what she's having. And so moving here, when I first moved to Atlanta, I moved to Alpharetta, and it was pretty much back then like home, And so I felt very comfortable and all of that. And then when we moved into our neighborhood, I was sharing with Floyd, I said, I don't know anybody. I need to know these people. I need to figure out who they are. And so, like I said, we wanted to create our village because of how we were brought up. And in our community, my dad was a deacon, my mom was a deaconess. They were always serving in the community. And so whether it was through church or not through church. And one of the things that I'm just so grateful that my parents taught me was that everybody in your community matters.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what their job is, the doctor, the pastor, the janitor, even the gentleman that's on the street with his bottle. He and she, they matter. And you treat people with respect. And so we wanted to create that same community. And I was sharing with Floyd, I just missed that for Samuel. And so we've created it. And that's what we're going to continue to do. That's one of the things that just kind of pushed him. I kept egging him, like, we need to start a foundation. We should start a foundation. You know, the kids need this, and the kids need that, and teachers need this, and teachers need that. And so I just would mention to him year after year, I'm like, honey, we should do so and so and so. You should join this, and you should do that. And so, being the wonderful husband that he is, he said, I'm starting to serve and volunteer in these schools, and I see exactly what you're talking about.
Wow. And tell us,
so,
you know, what I really, because you mentioned your foundation, and we're going to get really into what your foundation is, where it is, and who you guys are serving. But before we get into it, I wanted to find out, because what I hear in both of you all's voices is that you saw the need and started the foundation. Can you kind of speak to our viewing and listening audience? You know, what was that process like? Because there's so many people that are listening right now that are like, you know what? I hear you, Gwen, I hear you, Floyd, but starting a foundation has got to be taxing. Can you just, you know, speak to you all's journey on that?
Okay, well, I tell you, just to be transparent, you know, me and my wife, we was financially successful, and and we realized that as men and women of Christ, we needed to spend more time helping people that was less fortunate as well, or help people that wanted to become successful. Her expertise was dealing with the special ed kids and women in general, and my expertise was dealing with men and actually helping men become better men, better husbands, better providers, and so on and on. Because I understand that God said to the man, to the husband, love the wife like God said, love the church. But he never told the wife to really love the husband. He wanted the wife to respect the husband. So we had to do what was important and all. So now, as far as business and all, I mean, I would train people how to start their business, the importance of business credit versus personal credit, and so on and on. So I understood what avenue to approach in order to get the foundation intact. Now, typically, before you could, get a foundation intact, you have to have substantial revenue, because the foundation, one thing about a foundation and our foundation is not only do we look for sponsors so that we can continue to help people, but yet as well, we actually give grants. We answer grants and give money too. So, it's not just a nonprofit verbatim. It's a nonprofit where, you're helping the masses, and you're trying to do this really, as it's a sense of urgency, because there's so much need out there. And yet at the same time, you want people to understand what you're doing so they can sew in, and then we let them know where the revenue is going, and yet we utilize our own revenue too in order to do these things. And now, so those are benefits. Those are spiritual benefits, to be honest with you. But it's also financial benefits too, because I can give to the IRS, or I could give to our foundation to help the less fortunate. So just think about it. You do the math. I decided Uncle Sam don't need my money. But some people that in our neighborhoods throughout the United States and all, could benefit, because there are so many people that don't believe in giving. The word says better to give than receive. And I believe that, because when we do give, we don't give to say, hey, look, we're giving. We give because when we see the metamorphosis of that particular congregation, that foundation, that nonprofit, or that family, we see them grow and so on, because we could contribute to that. We realize that gives us brownie points with God, not necessarily with the people, because some people may not appreciate what you're giving them. And God said, don't worry about how they treat you. You worry about how you treat them, because vengeance is mine, said the Lord. So it's all about trying to help people in general, because our temporary stay here on earth is simply to show God what we are willing to do. And if he feels that he can trust us and give us the anointing to do things, he's going to widen the scope.
Increase it.
He's going to help us. He's going to allow us to be on your radio show.
Come on. Ooh.
And he's going to continue doing these things. He's going to open doors that no man can close. And for 3 hours a day, we're going to take people away from football, and they're going to listen to this, because it's an opportunity for them to actually expand their actual ministry and so many different ways.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead, Gwen.
And so the other piece is that we had so many people that poured into us. And Floyd and I know what it means to have two people working and not have enough. Because before we became as stable as we are now, we were starting a business that, he walked away from corporate America and started his own company. And when we started doing that, it was not a beautiful walk. And so we understood what it meant to be a moderate income family and still not have enough, And so what we wanted to do was make sure that we gave back as people poured into us. As I went through college, people would walk up and put money in my hand and say, girl, we're so glad you're down there at that school. What do you need? And so we had that blessing in us to want to give back to other people in the way that it was given to us. And so we've called everybody, family, friends, cousins, Pookie Nim, Ray, everybody, to say, I don't care if it's $1.
Right.
If you guys could send in, these funds are going straight to schools. They're going to people that need it without the labor of some of the intensity that other grants have. Wow. And so that was our passion and that was our focus, because so many people poured into us. I mean, literally would shake your hand when I was in college, would shake my hand and say, get yourself a cheeseburger or something. And, many of us going to school, we know what that feels like. I got enough for books. I got enough for tuition. I might have enough gas to get to work. And so someone coming and just putting $10 or $20 in your hand, that's life changing.
It can go a long way.
So we wanted to be able to offer the same thing. As we're growing in our foundation, that's our goal, is to be able to give back in a way that will be impactful and immediate to people.
Awesome.
So that's where we came.
Well, hold that thought, Floyd, because I got to go and take a break. So when we come back, you guys, Floyd, write that down, because I want you guys to go right back into this right here. You got a lot of people's attention based on what we are discussing right now. Listen, you guys, head on over to The Real Level Up. The Real Level Up on Facebook and now on YouTube. You're listening and watching Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Believe since I know the road here's gonna take me. No, I won't fall, but if I did, nothing could break me. Don't let fear get in front of you. Know just where you wanna go. Know in your heart you'll arrive. Whatever is ahead of you, there is something that you should know. You're in for such a beautiful ride, and so I believe, look how far you've come from where you came from. Look at where you're going. Look how far you've come from where you came from. Look at where you're going. Gold skies over hill and the highway. My time thinking about the future going my way. I learned ain't no use in pretending, so I'll give my all, and I'll always know the place of my beginning. Don't let doubt get in front of you. Know just where you wanna be. Know in your heart you'll arrive. Just when you think you know enough, you got so much to see. Oh, you're in for such a beautiful ride, and so I believe, look how far you've come from where you came from. Look at where you're going. Look how far you've come from where you came from. Look at where you're going. The possibilities of what you can be will never end. So just begin. The possibilities of all you will be will never end. So just begin. Won't you look how far you've come from where you came from? Look at where you're going. Look how far you come from where you started from. Look at where you're going.
Unveiled Treasures Bookstore. We offer a variety of items: church supplies, homeschool resources, music, books, and gifts. Our free ministry partners online affiliate program provides a collection of Christian resources. Unveiled Treasures, exquisite jewels to enrich your soul.
Someone Cares of Atlanta is a nonprofit 501c3 community-based organization providing holistic health and wellness with locations in Marietta and Metro Atlanta. Our qualified behavioral health professionals provide extensive counseling and treatment in substance abuse, mental health, and opioid addiction. Someone Cares offers a variety of services, and our professionals are waiting to serve you. We are not just an agency, we are a friend.
What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. All I'm asking is for a little respect when you get home. Hey, baby, when you come home, darling, I every woman is all in me. I can read your thoughts right now, if you want from A to Z.
Hey, this is Nolan Holloway, aka Mr. Scribe. Just letting you know that I have 3 books of poetry that's available on Amazon.com. So when you get a chance, go to Amazon.com, look up Nolan P. Holloway Jr., not Mr. Scribe, and pick up one of my books for your enjoyment. Peace.
Hey, this is Melly coming at you from the Camp Transformation Center in Davie, Florida, and I need you to level up. Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. right here on Mix106Radio.com.
It's Dr. Robert Frazier, CEO of Silk Educational Consulting, and it's time to level up every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. We look forward to having you tune in to Mix106Radio.com. Real talk that takes you higher.
It's Robert.
And Rebecca.
We're the Quaddle Bombs. Time to level up every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
We look forward to having you tune in to Mix106Radio.com.
Mix 106 Radio. You are now in the mix.
And welcome back to Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, Mix 106 Radio listeners, if you guys want to watch this show in its entirety, you guys can head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on Facebook and on YouTube. Hey, you guys, listen, we're going to get right back into our conversation, and who is in the studio is Gwendolyn and Floyd Bryant. And the topic of our discussion, let me grab it right back real quick, answering parents' Mayday call to COVID. Answering parents' Mayday call to COVID. Well, we've been
They're throwing out the life. They're throwing out the life preserver today, Angee.
I know it.
Thank God for the Bryants. They throwing that life preserver. I know parents are saying, I feel like holding on just another day.
Just a little while longer. But before we went to break, I know you had a thought that you wanted to share with our viewing and listening audience, Reverend Floyd. Take it away.
Well, first of all, before I get into that thought, I just wanted to say thanks and to a very good friend, Lynn Flynn. She is paramount on our foundation being successful in reference to getting grants and so forth, because Lynn Flynn, who owns Flynn Consulting, she actually teaches classes on grant writing. And just to put that to work, I wrote a grant out to Thrivent, one of the largest financial companies in the world that focus on nonprofits and churches and so forth.
Okay.
Thrivent successfully gave us a $5,000 grant when they looked at 12 foundations, and we was number 1. Now,
nice.
I wrote that grant. However, I wouldn't have learned how to do that had I not taken a succession of classes from Lynn Flynn. So I just wanted to mention that before we continue.
That's what's
up. And I just wanted to say thanks to her because, that was a blessing from God just bringing her into our life.
Oh, boy.
She's phenomenal. Thank you so much for mentioning that, Floyd, because we did have her on the platform last year.
Yes.
I believe that's when I was in the hot seat because Angee had an emergency and I was sweating profusely, Floyd, having to do what she does. We're all anointed to do what we do, but that hot seat is something else. So I had the honor of interviewing Lynn and just her background. But one of the things that stood out the most to me with her is her humility.
Yes.
Is her humility. I mean, this woman packs a lot of power, but her humility and her heart just to share. So wanted to give a shout out to Lynn Flynn's consultant. And maybe, Floyd, I think you can help me persuade her to come back on.
Come on back.
She was struggling. She really didn't want to do it, but we got her.
She's just a humble warrior. She let her work speak for her. And that, she's a phenomenal person.
Wow. And we were honored to have her. Unfortunately, I did have that emergency. So we are trying to get her back so that I will have the opportunity to interview her. But, in God's time, I know God's timing is everything. So we just pray that she come right on back.
And so what I was about to mention before we took a break was that in reference to our foundation, our goal for the rest of this year, being November and December, were to actually raise and facilitate over $200,000. So that's $100,000 a month because we are actually blessing different organizations, schools, and what have you with those proceeds to help them with some of the concerns that is really paramount this day and time. And we understand that we can do this because there are two scriptures that reassure us that we will be successful. The first one is Mark 11:24 that says, if you pray for it and ask for it and believe that you will receive it, you shall have it. And that second scripture, Jeremiah 33:3 says, call unto me, Floyd and Gwendolyn Bryant Foundation, and I will answer you and show you mighty and greater things thou knowest not. So therefore, we are going to do this because we understand that in this pandemic, during this pandemic, in this time, there are a lot of fear out there, a lot of uncomfortability and so forth. And, we would pray for them. But if we could donate funds in order to make these things happen to these organizations that are out there trying to make a difference. If we could be the liaison, the leader in making sure that happen and get that money out there to certain schools that are going through a vast amount of homelessness and so many other challenges, I think that it is certainly a win-win, and I think God will be smiling on us for that.
Well, Floyd, can you speak to, or Gwen, can you speak to what qualifications would allow a school or an organization to partake in the funding that your organization is giving out? What's the criteria? What's the prerequisite? I know it's 501c3, that much I do know.
Right, and all schools qualify, especially if they are Title I schools.
Yes.
And Title I schools are schools that usually have free and reduced lunches, and there are several schools, right, at a high rate of that, and basically a 501c3. They must be a 501c3 organization, nonprofit, in order for us to give them funding, because we do have a grant process that they can go to as well. And we keep our grant simple. Our grant application is so simple. We've heard feedback as, this is the easiest grant I've ever applied for. And we don't want to make it difficult at all. We want to be able to help those that are in need. And sometimes some of those smaller organizations get missed by the wayside because, some of the major companies like the Red Crosses and the United Ways get hundreds of thousands of people writing grants. Well, everybody may not know about that Diamond in the Rough, Floyd and Gwendolyn Bryant Foundation, that are raising a substantial amount of money to truly be able to help them do the same thing. Now, primarily, we focus on a lot of mini grants and grants that average the size of about $1,000. We give those grants to schools and nonprofits and so forth. And our focal point is economic empowerment for culture awareness and marriages. And with the marriages, we give sustainability tips. We have a marriage retreat every year. Last year we had one live. This year, of course, we had one virtually. And I think people get something out of both of those. As far as the cultural awareness, there are so many students and kids that have grown up in certain neighborhoods, never left that neighborhood. So we realize that if we can broaden their educational awareness and broaden their horizon, whether that be economic empowerment, whether that be education or crime prevention, mental and emotional stability, what that does, it actually builds their confidence. And that's the challenge that a lot of underserved community have. The kids, the only thing that they can see that they can persevere in or hope to do it is entertainment or athletics. And we want to let them know that there are other roads outside of underprivileged neighborhoods and things of that nature as well. So we want to help as many people we can. There are 330 million people in the United States before we get this next census. Floyd and Gwendolyn Bryant Foundation, which is a national foundation, want to be able to help as many as we can. We start at home first, since we're here in Atlanta, because charity begins at home first, but we're willing to branch out. Matter of fact, we are looking to upcomingly make some donations to Gwendolyn past elementary school, and middle school and high school, because they are in underserved communities, but they're in South Carolina, and we just want to be able to show that our executive director, Gwendolyn Bryant, will be able to give back to that community and those schools and so forth, at this point in our life. We just want to make God proud and make people in general realize that there is a choice and a chance for hope, that we are there to help them in any capacity we can, especially with the cultural awareness and the and marriages.
Well, I'm going to make a shameless plug here. Angee's like, oh God, what is she coming up with now? But I'm going to make a shameless plug because I'm not shamed, okay, to ask. Now, given the fact of what your foundation does, I'm going to ask on behalf of Level Up, would you be willing to do a quick crash course training? Because we know quite a few 501c3 organizations that are doing amazing things, but they're running into that area of finance.
Red tape.
Where they've gotten to a point,
yep,
and it's like, oh, we're stuck and we can't go any further. So I'm putting in a shameless plug. Would your organization, your foundation, be willing to do that if we were to gather the 501c3 organizations that we know of? We just had a few on, Diving with a Purpose, Sisters of the Skies, and others that we can name, YBU, and different ones that we know are doing amazing work,
yes,
especially with our youth. Uh-huh. So, would love to get a yes, but if you get a no, it's all right.
Well,
I'm not putting you on the spot.
Yes,
I'm putting you on the spot.
Yes, you are. Yes.
In that case, I think we'll be honored to do that simply because God has set up a platform for us. Because I am a financial guy, first, and then our foundation second. That's why I have an executive director by the name of wife, Gwendolyn Bryant, and so on and on.
You got a good one.
Talk, in reference to the nuts and bolts that is relevant for those foundations or business in general to make it to the next level, because I've lived it, created it, and done it myself. Now we're in the foundation arena, so that we can purposely do that, help others. That's our goal. We are here in order to make a mark that can't be erased, and we would love to be able to teach others so that we can give them that baton to grow, to continue and be impactful, and so that they'll go out and do what they're going to do. That's what God does.
That's right.
God gives us an opportunity simply because He knows we're not going to scrounge that opportunity.
That's right.
So if He's going to give it to you, if He feel like you're going to utilize it. Remember the 3 talents when God gave one 10 and 1 5 and 1 1. The one with 10 when he got 10 more. The one with 5 when he got 5 more. And then that one that didn't do anything,
held on to it.
Said, lazy and slothful servant. Yeah. Took that from from that particular one that buried one and gave it to Floyd and Gwendolyn Bryant family. And so that's what happened.
That's what happened.
That's right.
And that's why to put it on it, won't it?
There you go. For sure. And I know you both are part of, I know Gwen, you're part of the 100 Black Women of Metropolitan Chapter of Atlanta. Is that correct? That's a snippet of your bio.
Thank you. So, yes. And that, again, with Floyd and I being here in Atlanta, we looked for ways to serve our community. And we're all about, Floyd is in a fraternity, and fraternities and sororities are doing a lot of good work. The reason I joined the 100 Black Women is because of their advocacy. They are, lobbying on behalf of women and families. And so that spoke to my heart because, we've got to empower our community. And the only way we do that is through legislation, right? And so partnering with them enabled me to see that there were still some areas of need. And being an educator, teachers are working and creating lesson plans and, doing all of these other things. And then on top of that, they have to secure funds for things that they need and desire to do. One of the things that we just were able to fund was a cultural awareness grant for multicultural books in the classroom. Our African-American students, our Hispanic students, our Asian students, they need to see themselves in text. And so a counselor, Ms. Harrison over at Evelyn C. West, she put together a proposal.
Awesome.
We reviewed it, accepted it. Principal Burton over there, presented it and said, hey, can you guys help us out with this? No problem. That is a done deal. And we were able to present them with that. And so each classroom, they're going to have a rolling cart, and they're buying books that look like their population.
Nice.
And so that's what speaks to our heart, right? And we want to make sure that those things are done and teachers aren't having to go out and figure that out. Same thing with the 100 Black Women. We're able to help and support their Teens on the Move. They're doing wonderful things with young ladies, providing STEM enlightenment, cultural awareness trips. Now it's virtual, but they offer, college visits, things like that parents are working that can't do. So there they are supporting our village. And like I say all the time, Floyd and I are about community and family, and having our family being spread out all across the country. We are very centered on that, and we want to create that. I think that's what's missing in our community is that sense of purpose, of community, like intentional purpose, like mom and them, sister them, auntie them, coming in and saying, hey girl, you can't do that. That's not how we act. That's not what we
That's the optimal intentional. Yep.
Exactly. And they're very intentional. When we were growing up, it's very intentional about going to college. You're going to college, you're going to a trade school, you're going to start your business. This is what it looks like. You know, I have aunties that were entrepreneurs, seamstress, ran their own businesses, cosmetologists, ran their own businesses. And the first thing that they would say is, no, what you're going to do is buy your property, you're going to build your building, and you're going to own it. You're not going to continue to rent from someone else. And so all of these life skills that we were given, Floyd and I are determined to put them back into our community. We put them back into our children so that, we can make sure that the generation that came before us, we're doing them a justice. We're doing what they asked us to do and carrying out that legacy.
Yeah. And I don't want that to get lost because, like you said, the generation before us and even the generation before that generation, the silent generation, that's what they were all about. They were all about respect and, listening to your elders. And not only that, that generation, the silent generation, build more businesses that you can ever imagine. And I didn't realize that until I sat at, one of my best friend's mother's feet and just listened to her, how she built her business. I go back over and over and over again on things that she had to put in place and the relationships. She taught me how to build relationships so that you can build a solid business that will not fall to the wayside because you only had, one source of income. This lady had several sources of income, and I'm talking about she built it, you guys, in 1950 something. You know what I'm saying? And so there were
definitely know.
There were a lot of and what's missing though, Gwen, is that we're not teaching our children of today. We're not teaching them enough because, like, I'm so glad you're talking about these books that we are trying to get in the hands of our kids right now, because more of these authors that are coming out, they are trying to put those in books so that it won't get lost. We don't have to have it in history books anymore. We can put, there's so many authors out here right now that can put it in books so we can put it in the hands of our children of today. Okay, so I know I'm talking to some of these authors that are listening. I know you guys are listening out there. We need you guys to write these stories. And if Level Up have to put these stories out here so you guys can write more of these stories so we can put these books in these kids' hands that are now growing up, and the generation, I'm talking about the Z generation. Okay, y'all, I'm started preaching. I'm sorry. But yeah, I
and I'm not giving you no offering, so you could just cut it.
I know. They said that 2 more minutes to break. Okay. I know. Thank you.
But real quick to that point,
go ahead.
When we start talking about books and things that are out there's a book that's called Pies from Nowhere. Okay. And it is about how this young lady helped to support the bus boycott by baking pies. And so when we, it's one of the ones I keep right in my
look at you
books, because our kids need to know that everybody's not going to be on the front line.
Nope.
And everybody's named. There are other people besides, and I'm not negating the work that Andrew Young and Dr. King and all of these wonderful leaders did, but there are people who are out there whose names will never be called.
Come on.
That did the work. And that's what we want our kids to understand. We're doing the work because it makes the whole group work.
Yes.
Not just because one person can speak, but everybody has to work to make the dream come alive. And to your point, real quick, my great-grandfather.
Gwen, I got to go to break. We come back. Don't. Really I got to go to break. Listen, you guys, you don't want to miss this point that Gwen is going to make. You're listening and watching Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. We'll be right back.
Yeah, Mike Jeezy. This one's for you, Father. For sure. Cause despite the women, money, cars, and clothes, yeah, at the end of the day, tell them I choose you. Yeah, that's right. I put that on my mama, homes. Yeah, that's right. Jeezy on the scenery. Beating my speakers, they yelling out, why you mistreating me? I'm never leaving these. I'm never leaving G.O.D. Got a problem with it, throw them deuces, peace. Cause I ain't gotta know you, I know the Holy Spirit. If you ain't got it, then get like shouty and get it. Some people will try to tell you prosperity is a joke. That's cause they reaping the very same drama that they sold. Take a second to read your Bible, shout it, then you know. Shout out to Obama, but this year Jesus got my vote. He wins it every time, there ain't no need to lie. Drunk off the spirit, communion, sipping that holy wine. Saved me too many times, why would I turn around? I wanna see all you have to offer, father to child. Yeah, I lost 2 daddies in my lifetime, but the third time's a charm, and I know you'll do me right. That's why I choose you. Yeah, come on. That's why I choose you. Not say you chose me, so I choose you. Yeah, 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 come on. I feel like I'm at the top of my game, on a mountain that I can move at the sound of his name. A mustard seed of faith is all it takes to break down barriers. Spiritual post office, holy mail carrier. Nothing's more scarier thinking I can't have you. That's why I got to grab you. My life to use a passion. Pedal to the metal for the Lord like I was dragging. His love for me is always free for that, never taxing. Bagging as much as the spirit is I can handle. And now I can say you are the flame to my candle. I wanna be the most God-fearing two-legged mammal. The way of the world has 1,000,001 scandals, but the call of righteousness opens to one channel. The way is very narrow, that's why many don't travel. So with my talents, I'ma do what it do. And every time I spit a verse, gotta give it to you. I choose you. Yeah, that's right. Say, I choose you. One more time, homie. Everybody say, you chose me, so I choose you. Yeah, you chose me.
Nothing excites me more than to see children read the books that I illustrated and helped bring to life. You know, it's the process from start to finish, and you know, at the finish line, you see the children smiling and excited and sharing the stories with other children about, you know, an image or a book that they read. Another thing that gives me joy is working with new and upcoming writers, people who have all these stories that they want to tell and, you know, things that they want to share with the world, you know, just like, you know, me wanting to express myself as an artist and, you know, share my expressions. You know, people are doing the same thing with their stories, and to help, I feel like I'm helping making their dream come true.
I became severely anemic as a result of my fibroids. My energy level was just very low, just always very fatigued, very low sex drive. I think my only regret about my fibroid situation is that I didn't do it sooner. I feel amazing now. I feel great. Women, listen to me. You deserve to be happy and healthy again. No one has time for fibroids. Please look into UFE, contact Dr. Lipman, and get your happy back. Get your life back. Get your sex back. You know, be the woman that you were before fibroids. Just always very...
More than 12 million Africans were enslaved and trafficked. More than 2 million of our ancestors died at sea.
The ocean holds stories that haven't been told.
This is ground zero for the whole transatlantic slave trade.
The story of the slave trade is world history.
It's not something unique to America. It was a worldwide phenomenon.
What's up, y'all? Troy Lance here. It's time to level up.
What's up? It's your boy Fred Jones. Let's level up.
Hi, this is George Vincent.
And Rick Irvin.
And we are the Heavenly Deposit Team, and
we need you to level up.
Hey, this is Rodney Damon Collins, inviting you to level up. Check them out every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on Mix106Radio.com.
Mix 106 Radio. You are now in the mix.
And welcome back to Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, Mix 106 Radio listeners, if you guys want to watch this show in its entirety, you guys can head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on Facebook and now on YouTube. All I want you guys to do is hit that share button. Please hit that share button. All right, you guys, we're going to jump back into our conversation with Pastors Gwendolyn and Floyd Bryant. Before we got off into our break, Gwen, I want to jump right back into your thought. Didn't want you to lose it. Hope you didn't. Take it away.
Thank you. And so what I was sharing was that my great-grandfather, one of the things that he did, Caleb Robinson, in a little place called Sandy Run, before black folks were able to purchase their own land, he built a relationship. You were talking about that. And with that relationship, he was able to go down and have his land purchased for him. And that is what drives Floyd and I as well, is that we want to be able to build on that legacy. With all the things that was going on back then, all of the obstacles that were in their way, they found a way to make it happen. They found a way to be landowners. They found a way to be business owners. They found a way to become educated. And so that's what we share with our youth and with adults too. There's no room for excuses. If they did it, then we can do it, and we just need to find a way. And that's what we're here to do, is help people find their way.
And I think what a lot of people are kind of missing, it's okay to say that I don't know. I find, you guys, that people are just afraid to ask the question. They're afraid of the I don't know. I don't want people to think that, I'm, not educated enough to be in this arena. But I think that that's from the pit of hell. And let me just be real. That's, because if we get to the point that we can put aside our pride, ask the questions that is necessary. Let me just say this. If there is a passion in your heart, now God will give you the passion, and he will give you, the will to do it. But he's not going to show you all the answers. Because if he did that, then we will be on this earth by ourselves, one by one. What he has done, he has put people in our place, people in our paths, I should say, that we should go out and ask. The whole way that this radio show has been able to exist is that I ask questions, a lot of questions, and then I depend on a lot of people that just had the heart and the skill better than me to do what they do, except Robin. Now, we're going to replace Robin very soon. So, if you guys want to
understand. Hey, that's okay, because guess what? The Floyd and Gwendolyn Foundation, they'll be more than happy to have me, okay?
Without a doubt.
Who in need. They'll be more than, so I'm not worried about you. Don't kick me to the side. It's all right.
And another thing with that, Robin, even though we kind of, having a good time with this, it's about our faith. We're living in a time where our faith as individuals is being tested. And like what Gwen said, if we saw our forefathers doing it, then we don't have any excuses. If we serve a God that can do anything, why should there be is an excuse? If God puts people in your place, you ask your Father what you need, he gives it to you. You ask for the wisdom to implement it, then we should be in a situation where we shouldn't be failing. We shouldn't be falling short. But I understand we're afraid and we're flawed and human. And with all the chaos that's going on around us, it's testing people. So some people, the seed was thrown on the ground went to stony ground. They heard the word, but when times got tough, they quit. Let's be for real. There's a lot of folks that supposedly believers that is quitting. If we say we believe in God, if we believe and we say we have faith in him, nothing that's going on in this world right now should deter any of us if we're believers. And we have to bolster each other up. Your story is influencing me. I'm going to share that story with people that need encouragement. I need encouragement. So listening to your story is going to encourage me. And it's my job to go out and encourage others, just like it's our job to spread his word.
Well, the word of God says, build up, edify, comfort, and encourage. Isn't that right, Floyd?
That's it.
That's it. That's what the word says. So if we're not doing that, we're not being obedient to the word. But I wanted to hop on over to Floyd. Now, I didn't read his whole bio, but I'm taking snippets so that we can have talk 2 points here. Now, Floyd, I think your bio says that you're a chaplain for the 100 Black Men of South Metro. Is that right? Am I reading that right? I think that's what it says, doesn't it?
Yes, I'm the chaplain for the 100 Black Men of South Metro Atlanta. Yes, I am.
Okay.
And my job there is basically to keep them prayed up, just give them encouragement and so forth. Because in spite of our chapter, we've had a lot of COVID death from relatives of our members.
Oh.
And we have a great leader there. His name is Paul Vaughn, that are leading the ship. But in spite of that, sometimes he's just hearing all this bad news and challenging news about death here and sickness and so on and on. So we have to keep the work going. And in spite of that too, I'm also co-chairman of the education committee for South Metro Atlanta. That means I'm responsible for 3 schools in Clayton County and 11 schools in Fulton County. And one of those schools that we focus on helping to weather this storm is an elementary school that has actually 85% of their students are homeless.
Wow.
So,
gosh.
So we have our hands tied and all in so many areas. That's why it's really important that we have people that are willing to keep us prayed up.
Yes.
And just to be willing to do the things that God has called them to do, to just truly be a blessing to the kingdom. Yeah. You know, it's just not about us.
Yes.
And you know, we enjoy working with those children specifically because they will become what they see.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And just, you know, I wanted to say something in that last segment. You know, it's very important that we find our lanes. And I am so thankful that you guys have found your lane and has taken it and just, you know, grew it to a position that can help people. You know, if you guys are on the financial side, it's like Robin was saying, we talk to so many organizations that just need that. They just need that little bit of help to keep their doors open, to keep them going. I mean, I know one in particular, you know, that needs the financial help because they're coming out of their pockets now. And those are the organizations I want to help, that, you know, that we are here. I know you're listening out there, folks. I won't call out the names, but they know who they are, that we are here and we're going to continue to find those relationships that need to forge together, that, you know, with the Bryant Foundation being in the lane that they're in, you need them. You need them. Reach out to them. We are putting the information, ladies and gentlemen, especially those that are listening on Mix 106 Radio, head on over to The Real Level Up on Facebook. We are putting their information in our comment section. And after the show, if you're not on Facebook, we will be putting their information on The Real Level Up on YouTube, where you guys can reach out to them. Reach out to them. Let's put.
I've already done it, boss.
Oh.
I beat you to the punch. I already done it. I want to support my job. I'm trying to keep my job.
She doesn't want to get fired. Okay, yeah, y'all. You already put it on YouTube? Is that what you're saying?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Y'all, she's pretty good. So Gwen, if y'all need her, okay, yeah, we'll.
She's trying to keep her. She's doing a very good job. She's doing a very good job to keep her job. Thank you, Ms. Bryant, for the information, because it's very, very important that people understand who these folks are that we have on the platform today, and to forge those relationships, because it's all about who are we, brothers and sisters in Christ. Who do we have a relationship with? Our Heavenly Father. But here on earth, we have relationships with our brothers and sisters.
That's right.
And how does God know that we love Him? By loving our
each
brothers
other.
And sisters.
Yes.
So let's just keep it real. We know that everybody listening in may not be a believer, but this is the platform that we're on, and this is what we believe, and we don't push it on anyone. It's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice to reach out. It's a choice to receive. So we're just putting the information there, take the information and receive it, and basically marinate on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Well, you have not because you ask not.
That's right. That is very true. Now, Floyd, can I ask you? You're the owner of the Alternative Capital Inc. Is that the financial component of your organization?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can I post that as well? Can I post that information?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay.
And if you want me to give you a little blurb of what we got going on real quick, I could do that too. We're actually providing a COVID-19 relief loan to businesses that earned over $100,000 last year. And the phenomenal thing about this loan is we loan up to $200,000. The business owner only have to have a 585 to 600 credit score. We'll loan them that money. We'll get them funded within 10 business days. And also, this is the kicker. Because we don't know where this pandemic is going, they don't make their payment until 12 months later. Their payment is deferred for 12 months. So in essence, if they get on average $200,000 out, we charge them 4% interest rate. Now, under normal circumstances, someone with a 585 credit score can't go to the bank and get any kind of loan.
You better say it.
Kind of loan.
You better say it.
So, and they just have to be in business at least a year. You go to, if you go to the bank, you got to be in business at least 2 years before they even look at you. So we're here to try to help those people.
Wow.
And a lot of those people don't know where to look. So if that's just the COVID relief loan. That's one of the things that we do in Alternative Capital is what it says it is. We have alternative capital for business owners throughout the United States and U.S. territories, American Samoa, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Say it one more time, Reverend Floyd. I think they didn't hear you.
Throughout the United States, all 50, and the U.S. territories, American Samoa, for those of who not familiar with territories, U.S. territory, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So if you know anyone in any of those places throughout the United States that may need some pandemic relief, up to $200,000, any of those business owners that can use that, ask him to just give us a call or send us an email or reach out to us in numerous ways. And I'm sure that Miss Robin Bright would be able to encourage them and talk to them about that on a later
Very much so.
Thank you.
Gotta keep that job. Not a problem.
Anyway, well, in fact, Reverend Floyd, I know 3 off the top of my head. I mean, to God be the glory. We have met so many people throughout the United States. I know Robin is working on some people outside of the United States that will soon be on, because this is a global platform. So I just want everyone to know, please, we are sharing some really important information. I cannot stress this enough. If you are listening, please head on over to The Real Level Up on Facebook and now on YouTube. Share this information. We have got to do better, especially people of color, because I'm not just going to put it on black people. I'm going to put it on brown, yellow, red. I'm people of color. We have got to do better in sharing information with one another. Now, y'all know y'all have a cousin who married to your best friend's wife after the divorce. They have, look at Gwen. Gwen, we told you're going to have fun on this show.
I'm having a ball.
We told you. Look, the information is paramount because let's save a few more small businesses that are about to go under.
Right.
I can't. Oh, gosh. Thank you, Gwen and Floyd. No, it is an honor that you guys chose us to come on our platform for such a time as this. Now, I got to give it to my girl, Robin. She does a darn good job bringing people on this show. But I have got to say, look, when I turn these cameras off during the break, y'all can ask my sound engineer. I'm in here dancing because of the information that you guys are sharing with our viewing and listening audience. I am just floored and amazed that you, first of all, for your heart for God. Your heart for God is, yes, go ahead, Mr.
No, I said we also now, while you're dancing when the camera's off, we know what Miss Bright is doing. Miss Bright is shouting, dancing, doing cartwheels and flips because she knows she has so many alternatives to different positions. So if you say, oh, well, Robin just want to keep her job, we got the Bryant Foundation.
That's right.
So Robin got choices.
I told Angee from the B not too long ago. God said that I would be propositioned, and his word came to pass. So be nice to me, darn it. Keep those crackers and aloe vera juice coming, because it don't take
I'm telling you, somebody's gonna steal you up.
So in other words, Rob has rich.
Yes, she does. Very gifted.
I know, no. Robin is very good at what she does. We know who we have. We know who we have. Well, listen. We got 5 minutes to break. I just want you guys to please share, because after this break we have one more segment for the listening audience. My Floyd and Gwen family. I love y'all. I already love y'all. For our listening audience, because there are some people that may not get to our Facebook and YouTube, can you guys just share where they can find you, where they can get in contact with you? And we're going to do this for the rest of the show, you guys. Look, they're sharing it now. When we come back from this break, they're going to share it again to give you guys an opportunity to get a pen and piece of paper. So take it away. Share everything. Okay. Everything. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So if you want to find out about our organization, Floyd and Gwendolyn Bryant Foundation, you could either go to the website, and that website is just Floyd and Gwen, FLOYDAND, Gwen, GWEN, foundation.com. Or if you're one of those that don't have a laptop or a computer or what have you, if you got an Android or an iPhone, go into your Play Store or what have you, and guess what? All you got to type in is Floyd and Gwen Foundation, and it pop up, and everything you would have missed on the website, you got it right there at the palm of your hand. So it's there. Now, if you'd like to be a sponsor of Floyd and Gwen Foundation, if you think you'd like us to continue the work that we're doing, and if you would like to be a helper to make that come to pass, all you got to do is text the word give. Now, we know we use text because we know that 90% of you text every day. We went over to Gwen's mother house one Christmas, and some of her relatives, kids and all, was in the living room texting to each other instead of talking to each other. So guess what, guys? Text. Just text the word give, GIVE, to this number, 844 337-1110. That's a toll-free number. Doesn't cost you a dime. Just text the word GIVE, give, to that telephone number, 844-337-1110. Thank you so much. And if, of course, you'd like to actually talk to us in detail, if you're interested in getting a grant from Floyd and Gwendolyn Bryant Foundation, when you go to the website, be sure to click Contact Us, stroll down, and you'll see when you're halfway down, there's a link there where you can apply for a grant. That way, a simple grant application that would be in place so we can help you. And understand, you must be at least a Title I school or a 501c3. And if you're not a 501c3, I'm sure in the future on some of these calls with Miss Robin Bright and all, we will teach you how to get there. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome, and we will soon get this together where we can have you and Gwen on, along with Miss Lynn Flynn and those organizations that we know that are 501c3, and, do a quick webinar to be a blessing, because we love to give back as well. That's our heart's desire. We don't take for granted the platform that God has entrusted us with in this season, because everything is seasonal. So we try to do everything we possibly can, to get the word out for the furtherance of the kingdom and to enrich people's lives. That's really what it's about. That's what Christ did. He enriched the lives of those in whom he was around through relationships. So you guys are now officially part of the Level Up family. You are stuck with us, and that's the end of that. And take it away, Angee.
All right. Of course, we need to go ahead to our last and final break, you guys. When we come back on the other side of this break, we'll have a few minutes. If you guys have any questions or comments, head on over to The Real Level Up. We won't be able to see it on YouTube. The Real Level Up on Facebook. There, you can type in your questions and comments. We'll take it in our last segment with the Bryants. You're listening and watching Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. We'll be right back.
Suddenly I'm in a daze when I think about you, babe. Chills are running up my spine, you make me wanna run and hide. People say to let you go. If only everyone could know. If they could understand my need, they would want you bad as me. I never had a love like yours before. Want you more. Never had enough. How I need you. Can't get enough of your love, babe. Do you feel it? Do you feel it? 'Cause I'm needing you. Show me that you do. Can't get enough of your love, baby. Baby, baby. Oh yeah. Oh, you take me to another world. Favorite girl, but why do I deserve your love? And why do I deserve your trust? I got your love in me for me, with all my flaws and everything. I can't explain the joy you bring. I need you in my life. Oh, you make me wanna be a better version of me, with the things you say and the things you do. And you make me feel so real and so brand new. How I love you, get enough of your love. I can't get enough. Your love, babe. Your love, babe. Your love. Your love. Can't get enough of your love, babe. I can't get enough. Oh, 'cause you make me feel so real.
More than 12 million Africans were enslaved and trafficked. More than 2 million of our ancestors died at sea.
The ocean holds stories that haven't been told.
This is ground zero for the whole transatlantic slave trade.
The story of the slave trade is world history.
It's not something unique to America. It was a worldwide phenomenon.
It's been long enough that you've been walking around in the wilderness trying to figure out, who am I? Why am I here? What gifts do I have to make a difference? Well, it's time to warm it up. Discover your true identity. Unleash your gifts and impact the world to become a more bolder, braver, and courageous you. Join me, Kathy Hood, at a life-changing workshop, Woman Up, the journey of owning your power and unleashing your true self.
Looking cool. All right, Sonia. All right. Well, look, we're glad to be here. So, hey, look, tell us a little bit about the business.
So Extraction was open about a year ago now, May 25th. We celebrated a year. It's smoothies, acai bowls, vegan food. Awesome. We have Guyanese vegan food, actually. Extraction, we're a little different than most smoothie bars. We use exotic fruit.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much,
Pleasure.
Looking forward to it. Gabby, you going to get yours?
There you go.
All right. So we're going to enjoy. Sonia, thank you so much for allowing us to come by. And definitely we'll be coming by with friends. And I'm going to share this all over social media, okay?
Perfect. Thank
all
you
right.
so much.
Got to visit Extractions.
Thank you so much. Have a great day now.
All right.
Bye.
Hey, this is your girl, Joanna Hill McGill, Walmart's first Next Gospel Superstar winner. I need you to level up. Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. right here on Mix106Radio.com.
Hey, this is Shay Bynes with Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur. Let's level up. Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Mix106Radio.com.
It's your girl, Kathy Hood with Woman University. Let's level up on Sundays, 3 to 6 p.m. with Mix106Radio.com. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Mix 106 Radio. You are now in the mix.
And welcome back to Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angee from the B. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us all Sunday afternoon. So, listen, we are coming to the last segment of this show and in the studio by way of Blue Jeans because we're doing what? COVID compliant. We have Floyd and Gwendolyn Bryant. They are part of, well, I'm sorry, they are owners. Wait a minute, let's get that straight. They are owners of the Floyd and Gwen Bryant Foundation. So I just want, for this final segment, Floyd and Gwen, whatever you guys want to share with our viewing and listening audience that we haven't got to. I'm sure that there's so much that we didn't see. Look, you thought that 3 hours would be too long, right? Everybody, look, we've had so many people said that went by so fast. So what, for our final segment, what are some of the things you want everyone to know, remember, take away, share with other family and friends? Take it away.
Now, don't everybody talk at one time now.
I mean, you're on mute, baby. You gotta unmute yourself.
You had to unmute yourself. Go ahead, Floyd.
Well, one of the things I would like to say to those that have their nonprofits and so forth, reach out to us. It's all about teamwork, make the dream work. You know, understand that whatever decisions you make, your decision creates your destination. If you decide not to reach out, no, we don't know where you are. We look at platforms like Level Up that dare use their faith and their expertise to reach out to the masses so that God would anoint myself and my wife to bring in organizations like this so that we can reach out to you. There's a reason you're listening in today. We are the solution to your challenges. And we also like to say, you know, thank you, Lynn Flynn, for actually introducing us to Miss Robin Bright. And I like to say we're grateful that we are part of some of the organizations such as the 100 Black Men of South Metro Atlanta. My wife is a board member also of Tapestry. I'm a board member also of 100 Black Men of South Metro Atlanta. I'm a part of CBMC, which is Christian Business Men Connection. That is an area of our expertise that the Christian business owners should actually tap into. They have a great leader there by the name of John Posey. There's just
Now, Floyd, I'm going to jump in right there. Now, I'm not ashamed to beg. Not ashamed to beg. We would love to have our Christian businessmen on to share with regards to principles from the Word of God as opposed to the ways of the world. So I'm not ashamed. I'm putting it in there. Gwen laughing. I'm not ashamed now.
And I'll tell you, I'm sure Mr. Dr. John Posey, Dr. Reverend John Posey, would certainly be elated and honored for that.
Awesome.
So the first call that I will make once I get off this call is to Dr. John Posey, just to tell him exactly what this hard-working team has reached out to him for. But I just thank God for this opportunity to share this because, I get a high when we are able to help someone and they tell the story that, because we really believe in being a team that makes a difference. And for Mr. Scribe, I'm really thrilled when I see brother with so much enthusiasm, and he understands the importance of Proverbs 27:17, which say iron sharpening iron. So thank you so much.
You are so welcome. I said I'm going to call you and Gwen Aquila and Priscilla. Not Ananias and Sapphira.
Oh no! Don't do that.
Y'all are out doing the work. No, we don't. No, not Ananias.
Not Ananias.
No. Aquila
and Priscilla. Yes. You're going to have to explain to some people now. Everybody ain't versed in the Bible now. Don't be calling out names.
We're gonna get to that. But just know that Ananias and Sapphira, God wasn't pleased. And, let's just say they expired very quickly. We're going to leave it at that. The word of God is quite adventurous when you read that word. I'm sure you would agree, Gwen.
It has everything in it.
Yes, very much so. So please, you go ahead and share as well, Gwen, with regards to whatever the Lord has laid on your heart, because I know your passion with regards to children who have disabilities.
Yes, and so what I want to encourage families that are dealing with students that are at home and you're finding it to be challenging, we want to encourage you to stay focused on the main thing, and the main thing is loving your children, loving them where they are, knowing that they are enough and you are enough. And with that said, we want to ask and encourage you guys to join us. We're going to be talking more about helping parents deal with COVID. We're offering a virtual webinar. When you visit the website, Floyd and Gwen Foundation, you'll be able to see that information there. Please come over, join us. We're going to have some wonderful people on there. We're going to have a reading specialist, Miss Michelle Norton. She specializes in reading for Atlanta Public Schools. She's going to be joining us. We're going to have Dr. Ann Tumler, who is an occupational therapist. She has a private practice, but she worked in schools all across Georgia, and now she is in Texas and Arizona. She's going to be sharing some tips, again, more things to do outside of screen time. So we're going to have Dr. Willie Sands on there as well. He has just written a book about bridging the gap in the Christian community. So we're going to talk about bridging the gap in your home while we're dealing with COVID and keeping in contact with your loved ones that are being safe and staying distant. So we're going to be doing a lot of great things that's going to be coming up in November the 14th. So join us then.
Yes.
And then I want to say thank you guys. This has been so much fun. Oh my goodness. I've had a wonderful time. And Floyd knows we love good people. One of his things that he always says is that we value relationships.
Yes.
And that is true. We value the relationships that we've been able to develop here, coming into Atlanta, I went to my very first church here was St. James United Methodist. So hey guys, to those of you that are listening, they just kind of took me in and helped grow me up in my ministry and everything, and supported the work that God had laid on my heart to do with children. So I'm just super, super excited to have this opportunity, this platform. I can't wait to see what else you guys are going to be doing. We want to be a part of it. Don't leave us out. And so we're just so grateful to be here. Thank you so much for having us.
And just to add, that workshop that my wife was talking about will take place November the 14th at 4 p.m. It will be about an hour and a half. It won't be 3 hours, but if we could have utilized you guys, we might have made it 3 hours. It will be an hour and a half, but it will be some phenomenal stuff. We have a phenomenal panelist, including my wife. She is one of the panelists as well.
Awesome.
So
we will definitely support.
Yes.
Please give us the flyer so that we can post that out on our social media platforms, and we will be there to support. Because like I said, you're part of the Level Up family now, and we're going to utilize the platform that God has entrusted us with, and we're going to collaborate and get together and do a webinar so that we can get this information out to the non-for-profit organizations, as well as share your information in regards to your foundation. So we can't say thank you enough. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being so transparent.
Yes.
And thank you for really doing the work of the kingdom. Like you said, iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. So we appreciate that.
One quick note I forgot to mention. Through Alternative Capital, we do help businesses create business plans as well as nonprofit bylaws that are really compliant with the IRS. So we will help them create bylaws to have a roadmap to their successes so they don't bounce out anywhere and get disallowed. So that is really important.
Yes.
Because, the IRS is serious about that. So those are some of the things that we offer there too. But thank you so much. Once again, Robin and Angee, Mr. Scribe, you guys, was my relatives before you knew it anyway. Robin just broke the news. Thank you.
Hey, not a problem. Well, listen, you guys are definitely not a stranger. Anytime you guys are having something that is going on, please let us know. Send a flyer, send a smoke signal, send whatever you need to send so that we can get it out to our viewing and listening audience. Hey, you guys, that does it for our show for this Sunday. Next Sunday, of course, we will be back live right here, same time, same place, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Pacific. Go out and tell more of your friends about the Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. Listen, we will see you guys next week. We love you. We mean it. Take care.
You think by now we'd be through with this? You think by now we'd have this thing figured out? This one hurts a little different.
Oh, something's different this time. Oh, yes it is. Something's different this time. Oh, I know there's something different this time. This time. Oh, something's different this time. Maybe it's the way the tears are falling down. They're falling a little harder this time. Yes, they are. And this time they fall from your eyes. Maybe it's the way. Maybe it's the way that we all feel so breathless this time around. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. All I can say is something's different this time. There's something different this time. Yeah. Something different this time. Yeah. Something is different this time. Oh, yes, it is. Maybe a change will come. People are hurting. People are burning inside. Wondering why this keeps happening. Why this keeps happening. Oh, why? I ask you why. It takes so long to say that it's wrong when we die. We die by the hands that should only save lives. Ooh, something's different this time. Different this time. I believe in my soul. Something's different this time. Something's different this time. Something's different this time. Yeah. Oh, no. Something's different this time.
Nothing excites me more than to see children read the books that I illustrated and helped bring to life. You know, it's the process from start to finish, and you know, at the finish line, you see the children smiling and excited and sharing the stories with other children about, you know, an image or a book that they read. Another thing that gives me joy is working with new and upcoming writers, people who have all these stories that they want to tell and, you know, things that they want to share with the world, you know, just like, you know, me wanting to express myself as an artist and, you know, share my expressions. You know, people are doing the same thing with their stories, and to help, I feel like I'm helping making their dream come true.
Introducing Jewel Premium Sanitary Napkin. Jewel has an innovative design that is made with a strip infused with Nobel Prize-winning material, graphene. The infused graphene strip may provide various health benefits that potentially help relieve painful abdominal cramps, help balance the body's pH, help eliminate harmful bacteria, help with aroma, help fight fatigue, boost metabolism, boost immune system. Graphene moves heat away from your core and contains vibrational energy. In this test, we will add water to the graphene strip and then place a 7-watt light bulb onto the strip to demonstrate the level of energy contained in the Jewel pad. These medical claims have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. All results may vary. Protect the most precious jewel in the world, you. For more information, contact the person who referred you to this.
What you want, baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. All I'm asking is for a little respect when you get home. Hey, baby, when you come home, darling, I every woman is all in me. I can read your thoughts right now, everyone from A to Z.
Hey, this is Nolan Holloway, aka Mr. Scribe. Just letting you know that I have 3 books of poetry that's available on Amazon.com. So when you get a chance, go to Amazon.com, look up Nolan P. Holloway Jr., not Mr. Scribe, and pick up one of my books for your enjoyment. Peace.
Yo, level up, real talk that takes you higher with your boy Mike Jeezy. Tune in Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. on Mix106Radio.com.
Hey guys, vibe with Mr. Scribe on Level Up on Mix106Radio.com.
Hey, this is Richard Shaw Jr. Make sure you're believing again. Also, level up. Check them out every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. right here on Mix106Radio.com.
It's your girl, Minister April Aland Sitmanat, the spiritual soldier. And let's level up on Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. with Mix106Radio.com. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Mix 106 Radio. You are now in the mix.